Tonight, we uncover a story that has shocked everyone who thought they knew the Roloff family. A story of secrets, of hidden lives, of betrayals that ripple behind closed doors. And it all starts with one name: Caryn Chandler. Yes, you heard that right. Caryn Chandler, a name we've all associated with Matt Roloff, but perhaps not in the way you think. What if I told you that behind the smiles, the public appearances, and the so-called perfect family moments, there was a side of Caryn that no one, and I mean no one, was supposed to see? Here's the shocking part. The secrets she's been hiding were not small. They weren't harmless. They were life-changing. And for Matt, the truth might just be impossible to ignore. Let's start at the beginning. It was an ordinary morning at the Roloff farm, a place many fans know and love. A place where stories of family triumphs and struggles unfold before the cameras. But that morning, behind the farmhouse walls, a different story was brewing. Caryn, known to most as calm, composed, and ever supportive, was acting unusual. Her phone buzzed constantly, messages coming in at odd hours. And when she answered, she spoke softly, almost in whispers. Not the Caryn everyone believed they knew. Some of the staff noticed the quiet tension, the forced smiles, but no one could put their finger on it. Until one small, seemingly innocent slip revealed the first clue. A text notification brief, almost accidental, appeared on her phone. Words that made anyone reading them sit back in disbelief. "Are you sure he can't find out? We need to meet tonight." Now stop and think about that. Meeting in secret, at night, while everyone else is asleep? For a moment, everything changed. The perfect image of Caryn, the woman at Matt's side, began to crack. And fans of the Roloff family, those watching every social post, every public appearance, would never have guessed what was really going on. But here's where it gets more tangled. Matt Roloff, a man known for his sharp instincts and business acumen, had been sensing something was off for weeks. Not the usual small disagreements or farm stresses, something deeper, something personal. Caryn was hiding more than late-night texts. She was hiding meetings, phone calls, even trips that she insisted were work-related, but left no evidence behind. Matt, naturally, was suspicious, but he didn't want to jump to conclusions. He wanted proof. And proof, as we all know, doesn't come easy when someone is careful, meticulous, and determined to keep their secrets buried. Now, let's pause here and consider. Why would Caryn feel the need to hide? What could possibly be happening behind those walls? And more importantly, what does it mean for Matt, for the family, for the life they had built together in front of millions of viewers? Here's where the plot twists. It wasn't just a casual secret. It was a double life. And once the first hints emerged, the pieces began to fall into place. Friends noticed her vanishing for hours at a time. Phone calls were taken in private rooms. Social media activities showed interactions with someone unusual, someone who wasn't supposed to be there. And then came the confirmations. Emails surfaced, emails that suggested Caryn had been communicating with someone for months. Someone with connections to industries Matt would never have approved of. Someone who represented an entirely different world, a world of deals, secrets, and perhaps betrayals. When Matt finally confronted her, as any person in his position, the response was calm, almost rehearsed. Denials, plausible explanations. But deep down, he felt it. He knew. And the tension in their household became palpable, almost electric. Fans following from the outside would have had no idea. Publicly, Caryn remained composed, appearing at events, smiling for the cameras, maintaining the image of the perfect partner. But inside, the Roloff farmhouse became a place of silent struggles, whispered arguments, and cold shoulders. And then, the ultimate twist. A trusted source, close to the family, revealed that Caryn's secret life wasn't just personal, it was financial. And it was potentially devastating. A series of hidden investments, clandestine meetings with business associates Matt had never met, and decisions that could impact the family's farm, their brand, and their reputation. Imagine discovering that the person you trusted most was making moves behind your back that could change everything you built. That's exactly what Matt faced. And it wasn't just about money. It was about trust, betrayal, and the very foundation of what they had together. At this point, you might be asking, how could this happen? How could Caryn maintain this secret life under the same roof, under the same public scrutiny, for so long? The answer is deceptively simple. She was careful, methodical, strategic. Every step was calculated, every message deleted, every meeting disguised. And while Matt focused on public appearances and the farm's daily operations, Caryn moved silently in a parallel world, one that intersected with his life only when it suited her. Now, let me take a moment to explain just how elaborate this all was. Caryn had developed a network not random friends or casual acquaintances, but professionals, insiders, and influential figures who operated in industries far removed from farming or reality TV. And through this network, she began creating opportunities that Matt knew nothing about. Opportunities that could have brought the Roloff name into conflict, scrutiny, or even scandal. And here's the kicker. She did all this while maintaining a facade so convincing that even close family members didn't suspect a thing. To the outside world, Caryn was supportive, warm, loving the ideal partner for Matt Roloff. But behind the scenes, she was orchestrating plans that might have changed the course of their lives forever. So, what happened next? How did Matt respond? How did the family react? And most importantly, what consequences did Caryn face for this hidden double life? Well, the truth is, we're only scratching the surface. Because once the first layer of secrets peeled away, the story took even darker, more shocking turns. There were confrontations. Heated, emotional confrontations, the kind that leave you shaking, questioning everything you thought you knew about someone. Accusations that flew like arrows, deflections, tears, and for a while, silence. Heavy, suffocating silence that filled rooms, echoing louder than any words ever could. And yet, despite it all, Caryn remained composed, almost eerily calm, as if she knew something we didn't, as if she had prepared for every possible scenario, every possible accusation, every possible fallout. But even the most meticulous plans have cracks, and in this story, those cracks began to show when small mistakes, tiny, almost imperceptible slips, revealed more than anyone could have anticipated. A phone call left unanswered, a social media post deleted too late, a witness who noticed something unusual. Little by little, the truth began to emerge. And with it came the realization that Caryn's secret life wasn't just a personal matter, it was intertwined with the very essence of trust, loyalty, and family bonds. And here's where we pause, because the revelations that followed would shock everyone involved. Friends, family, fans, even Matt himself were about to see a side of Caryn that no one could have predicted. By now, you're probably wondering, what was Caryn's ultimate goal? Was this about personal gain, hidden ambitions, or something even more complex? And what would happen when all the secrets were finally out in the open? That, my friends, is the story we continue to unravel. Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we will dive deeper into the hidden meetings, the financial maneuvers, the emotional fallout, and the shocking decisions that would leave the Roloff family forever changed. For now, remember this. Appearances can be deceiving, smiles can hide secrets, and behind every closed door, there may be a story you never saw coming. This is Caryn's secret life behind Matt Roloff's back, a story of trust, betrayal, and the shocking truths that were hidden in plain sight. And the story has only just begun. This is the story of Caryn Chandler and the secrets she kept behind Matt Roloff's back. It all begins with a twist so shocking that even those closest to the Roloffs could hardly believe it. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that someone you trusted had been living a double life. That's exactly the reality Matt Roloff faced. For months, everything seemed normal. Family breakfasts, smiles for the cameras, appearances at events. But behind the walls of the farmhouse, a very different story was unfolding. Caryn, the woman everyone saw as composed, loving, and loyal, was hiding meetings, phone calls, and text messages. At first, they seemed small, innocent even, but little by little, the truth began to emerge, a truth that would shake the Roloff family to its core. It started with a text message, a simple notification on her phone. Words that should never have existed. "Are you sure he can't find out? We need to meet tonight." The meaning was clear secrecy, hidden plans, and the beginning of a double life. Matt, a man known for his keen instincts and sharp eye, noticed subtle changes: late-night absences, whispered phone calls, and unexplained trips. He confronted Caryn gently at first, giving her the benefit of the doubt, but the evidence began to pile up. Emails, meetings, interactions with people outside the usual circle, people Matt had never met. The twist? It wasn't just personal. Caryn's hidden life involved financial decisions, strategic moves, and plans that could have altered the family's legacy forever. Now picture this. The Roloff farm, a place many of us see as a sanctuary of family love, suddenly became a stage for tension, whispered arguments, and emotional confrontations. Matt tried to maintain calm, but even he could not ignore the pattern. Something was off. And deep down, he knew the truth was far more complex than a simple misunderstanding. Caryn's secret life had three main layers: the hidden relationships, the financial dealings, and the emotional manipulation that allowed her to maintain her facade. Friends and staff noticed her disappearing at odd times, taking calls in private rooms, and avoiding social interactions. At first, it seemed like stress from the farm or her personal work, but eventually the pattern became undeniable. Caryn had someone, or perhaps multiple people she was connecting with, in ways that Matt did not know about. Some messages were deleted too late, small mistakes revealing hints, photos accidentally posted on social media, interactions with people in industries far removed from reality TV and farming. The clues were subtle, but they were there for anyone paying attention. Caryn was not just hiding personal connections. She was making financial decisions without Matt's knowledge. Investments in businesses he hadn't approved, secret meetings with influential figures, and discussions that could have risked the family brand. The Roloffs are a family with a public image to maintain. Every move is scrutinized, every action discussed by fans and followers. And yet, Caryn managed to operate in a shadow world, leaving Matt and even close family members unaware of her true activities. Caryn remained composed, calm, almost eerily so. She smiled for the cameras. She supported Matt publicly, but behind closed doors, tension simmered. Arguments were quiet but intense. Silence filled rooms like a heavy fog, and while Matt searched for clarity, Caryn controlled the narrative, keeping the truth hidden. Now, imagine the moment when the first major confrontation occurred. Matt had discovered enough evidence to challenge her directly. Emails, text messages, and eyewitness accounts left little room for denial. He confronted Caryn, and what happened next would define the future of their relationship. Caryn's response was measured, almost rehearsed. Denials, deflections, and carefully worded explanations. But Matt could feel it, the cracks in her facade. The truth, no matter how carefully hidden, was beginning to surface. And then came the turning point. Caryn's secret life was exposed not by Matt alone, but by a trusted source, someone close to the family, someone who had observed patterns, inconsistencies, and hidden activities. They revealed details that no one expected: secret meetings with business associates, financial maneuvers that Matt had not authorized, and connections that could have had serious repercussions. The fallout was immediate and intense. Family members were drawn into the conflict. Friends struggled to reconcile the woman they knew with the actions she had taken. And Matt, for the first time publicly, had to grapple with the reality that the person he trusted most had been living a hidden life. The story escalated quickly. Public appearances became tense. Social media posts were scrutinized. Every word, every glance, every interaction became a potential clue for fans and family alike. The Roloff farm, once a symbol of family harmony, became a place of whispered conversations, long stares, and emotional strain. What Caryn had done wasn't just secretive, it was strategic. Each action calculated. Every meeting, every text, every decision designed to maintain the appearance of normalcy while pursuing hidden goals. And yet, even the most carefully laid plans have flaws. Small mistakes, a delayed message, a missed meeting, a witness who noticed something unusual began to unravel the carefully constructed image. Matt pieced together the clues, and as the evidence mounted, Caryn's double life could no longer remain hidden. The confrontation that followed was intense. Words were exchanged, accusations flew, tears fell, and in that moment, the true extent of her actions became undeniable. But here's the surprising part. Caryn never lost her composure completely. She had prepared for this. Every possible argument, every possible revelation, she had anticipated. And while the emotional impact on Matt and the family was severe, Caryn remained calm, almost as if she were in control of the narrative, even as it unraveled. The final revelation was staggering. It wasn't just the hidden relationships, the financial maneuvers, or the secret meetings. It was the emotional manipulation, the careful construction of a persona that allowed her to operate undetected for months. By the end, Matt faced a choice that no one envies. How do you respond when someone you trusted has hidden so much? When the very foundation of your shared life has been shaken? He chose to confront, to demand transparency, and to rebuild boundaries. The Roloff family, though shaken, came together to support each other. Friends rallied, and Caryn, finally confronted with the consequences of her actions, had to reckon with the truth she could no longer hide. As fans watched from the outside, it became clear. Appearances can be deceiving. Smiles can hide secrets. Trust can be tested in ways that seem unimaginable. And sometimes, the most shocking stories happen behind closed doors, in places we least expect. Caryn's secret life, exposed, served as a reminder, even for families in the public eye, that honesty, transparency, and communication are invaluable, and that the consequences of secrecy, no matter how carefully hidden, can ripple far beyond what anyone anticipates. So, what do we take away from this? The Roloff family story continues, with lessons learned, boundaries strengthened, and trust rebuilt. Caryn's actions, though shocking, remind us all of the delicate balance between public appearances and private truths. And as for Matt Roloff, the man who faced the hidden truths head-on, he emerged stronger, more aware, and more determined than ever to protect his family, his legacy, and the truth. This is the story of Caryn's secret life behind Matt Roloff's back. A story of trust, betrayal, confrontation, and ultimately, resilience. Because sometimes, the most dramatic stories are the ones that unfold where no one is watching. And the truth always finds a way to come to light.